Okay, primary trig ratios. So the primary trig ratios, like you said, are Sohcahtoa, which essentially stand for sine. Now I'm going to draw this symbol.
Okay.
Yeah, that symbol just stands for the angle.
Okay.
So sine of whatever angle is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse, right? Or SOH, right? SOH. Cosine, cos of the angle is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is our CAH, C-A-H, right? We have a C, A, and H, S-O-H, and TOA, which is tangent of that angle, theta, is equal to the opposite over the adjacent, which is our TOA. T-O-A. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our TOA. That's not a T. There you go. Okay, there you go. So, all of our stuff is set up from the angle we're either using or solving for. So in this case, we're solving for, using angle A, right?
Yeah.
We're using this angle here, and it's 20 degrees. So now we draw the triangle from there. Now, there's a certain side of the triangle that will always stay with the same name. Do you know which one that is?
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse, that's right. This will always be the hypotenuse. No matter what we do, this is going to be hypotenuse of the triangle. The opposite and the adjacent completely refer to this angle itself.
Yeah, so the opposite is the left side, and
Yeah.
the adjacent is
Excellent.
on the bottom.
Yeah. So here's our opposite and our adjacent. Had we been using the other angle, say we'd been using this, what would the opposite be?
The opposite would be where the 31 is.
Yeah, exactly. Good. So you know how to set them up. Great.
Yeah.
Now that we have that, the question says to solve the triangle. So we can actually choose any side to solve. So what would you like to solve for first?
The hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. So if we're solving for the hypotenuse, we have the angle and we have the adjacent, and we're solving for the hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse, which of the ratios will we use?
Sine.
Is that going to be adjacent and hypotenuse?
Oh, oops. Cos.
Cos, that's right.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at cos because we're trying to solve for the hypotenuse first. So let's try that out. What that says is cos. So cos theta, which stands for the angle, so cos 20 degrees is equal to the adjacent, which is 31, over the hypotenuse, we'll call it h for now. For hypotenuse. Now we got to solve for h. Well, h is on the bottom of the fraction. So do you remember cross multiplying it all?
Yeah. Put cos 20 on the bottom as well.
Okay, yeah.
No, or divide cos 20 by 31.
Yeah, you're right. If
Yeah,
you're going
yeah.
to jump ahead, good. You know this stuff very well. I'll do it one step at a time just so to refresh, but that's exactly what's going to happen. Kind of like a cross multiplying. So we go h times cos 20 and 31 times 1, which is going to be 31. And then when we bring cos 20 over, well, we have to divide both sides by cos 20. So these will create a 1 or cancel out, as I call it, cos 20. So we get h is equal to 31 divided by cos 20, which is exactly what you said. You knew how to jump 2 steps ahead. When we go to solve that, hypotenuse is 31 divided by cos 20.
32.98.
32.98. Great, meters. So the hypotenuse of this triangle is 32.98.
Yeah.
98 meters. It might even say approximately 33 meters. Right? You could have, they may actually have figured out or something like that. That's okay. So we have 2 sides of the triangle. We still have to find the third side. How can I go about finding the third side of this?
Use both of the numbers that we have. Oh, or we could use either one.
Okay,
We could
yeah.
use hypotenuse and opposite, or adjacent and opposite.
Okay, and which formula do you want to use when we do it?
Hypotenuse and opposite.
Okay, so which of them will we have to use if we're using for hypotenuse? Great. Good. So you already know that too. Excellent. So now we're going to set up sine 20 is equal to the opposite, which we don't know, so we'll call that O. Hypotenuse we do know. We're going to round and say it's 33. Now, technically, to be accurate, we should write 32.98, but
You don't want to write it this.
yeah, we're going to try to keep it a little simpler for ourselves.
All right.
Same idea. What is O going to be equal to in this?
Opposite. Wait, what?
How am I going to make O by itself?
It's divided by O.
Okay, what would be a fast way? 33 is on the bottom. How can I move the 33 to the other side?
Cross multiplication.
Okay, so think of it like cross multiply. So I'm going to left with 33 times sine 20. And what's O times 1?
1 O.
Okay.
So O.
Oh, just O. Okay. I know it looks like a 0. Okay, we'll put OP so we know it's opposite. Okay, that's what sine. So now we just got to multiply sine 20 times 33 for the opposite. Got that calculator?
Yeah. So 33 times 11.28.
28. Good. So our opposite is 11.28. And they said solve the triangle. I got 3 of the sides, 2 of the angles.
So, the next one is 70.
Good. How did you solve that so quickly?
20 plus 90 equals 110, and then plus 70 equals 180.
Perfect. So that's right. That needed to be 70. Good. So that's how you solve the entire triangle using those ratios.